Hi, my name is Jaede Bayala. I'm the Assistant Gallery Manager and Staff Writer here at Studios Inc., and I'm joined with Elise Fippinger, our Exhibitions Coordinator, to talk about To Walk A Contradiction. Just to begin, Studios Inc. is a 501(c) nonprofit that supports mid-career artists with studios and pairing them with patrons. So, Elise, my first question for you is, what was your decision to curate this exhibition with a minimalist approach?
I think coming from the last show that we had here, it was very maximalist, which is like typically my way of working and me, like what I do in my own practice. So I really wanted to highlight each piece in this show because they were all different artists and different works. And because of the theme being contradiction, I wanted there to be space between each piece to really like take it in and be able to walk through the space in a more flowing kind of way.
And how do you imagine this space flowing?
So I obviously title wall is here, and I actually came up with the last piece that I wanted to put in the show at the very end. I came up with that first. So coming from this space, my first two comparisons are Deborah Smith's piece and Gary Nolan's piece. They're both gridded pieces, but they're very different from each other. Deborah Smith's pieces being very tight, very uniform, very clean and put together in a very specific way. And then it contradicting Gary Nolan's pieces in the material that those are used with is cardboard and duct tape, and also being in a grid form, but being a little bit more organic with the shapes, and just having that conversation and those pieces reflect each other is kind of what I started with in this flow in this area. So
Nice.
yeah.
And how was curating this exhibition different than others you've curated? You started to talk about this earlier.
Yeah, I think when I was asked to come up with a theme, the first thing that came into my head was how I feel. And I feel like I'm a walking contradiction in this time of my life, which then came up with the theme in the title, To Walk a Contradiction. And really just starting that conversation of what it means to contradict yourself and to contradict others, but still finding connections and themes that connect and go with each other, depending on the person. So, and just finding that communication style and just the beauty also in contradicting but existing at the same time.
And what is your favorite contradiction that you have here?
My favorite contradiction is Caitlin Horseman's pieces and Miguel Rivera's pieces. His piece over here. I think what's so fun about them is that they are so different and they were made by completely different people at completely different times. And just like the use of material being so similar and the color palette being so similar, I just get this like feeling that they're meant to kind of be together and have some sort of conversation. So that is my favorite contradiction in the show right now.
Great, thank you for sharing. And my final question is, can you tell me about what themes that you're exploring in your residency at Inglewood Arts, and if there are any shows or projects that are upcoming you're excited about?
Yeah. So a lot of the themes that I work with in my own work is it's a lot of process. I work with many different materials: clay, glass, painting, sand, paper, a lot of different things. So it's kind of a constant process of eliminating, practicing impermanence, and just honestly therapy for me. I think my process is very therapeutic, and the outcome of the process isn't always what I'm expecting to make or necessarily what I want to be making. But I think it's just like letting go of that control and just enjoying it. So yeah.
Great.
And then any upcoming shows, we've got our resident show happening in May, and yeah, just getting prepared for that. So I chose Ricky Almond's piece titled Long. Um, First and foremost, it's one of my favorite pieces. I think that when I decided on the title and the theme of the show, this piece I knew that I wanted to be at the end. And I think that it just encompasses this entire theme of contradiction and also just like a mindlessness and just like the idea that so many things can exist together at once that might not necessarily go together, but still in capturing that beauty of life and the mind and contradiction and humanity. So, this is the final piece of the show, and I it's honestly one of my favorites, and I hope that you can ponder it and experience it and find some sort of enjoyment in it as well. So, thank you.